Hello, welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn some important pronunciation, so let's get started. Today we're going to learn the pronunciation of GN. When we see GN at the beginning of a word, the G is silent. Just pronounce the N, like a normal N. Example, gnome. This is a gnome. This is a garden gnome. People put them in their garden for decoration. She has garden gnomes in her garden. Don't pronounce the G. It's silent at the beginning of the word. Let's practice. Does she have garden gnomes in her garden? That's right. She has garden gnomes in her garden. In this word, this is pronounced gnat. The G is silent because it's at the beginning of the word. Gnat. This is a gnat. It's like a small fly. Very tiny. And they all fly together. Gnats. More than one. I don't like gnats. Gnats are annoying. Let's practice. What do you think? Do you think gnats are annoying? That's right. Gnats are annoying. And this word is gnarly. Gnarly is slang in the United States. It's when something is very difficult or dangerous. People use it to talk about tricks. Like he did a trick on his skateboard. It was gnarly. Let's practice. He did a difficult trick on his skateboard. Was it gnarly? That's right. It was gnarly. And this word is gnaw. Remember, the G is silent because it's at the beginning of the word with GN together. Gnaw. The AW makes it sound aw, like ball and call. Aw. Gnaw. Gnaw means to chew on something. Example, the dog is gnawing on a bone. Gnaw in a continuous form, gnawing. Gnawing. The dog is gnawing on the bone. Let's practice. What is the dog doing? Is the dog gnawing on the bone? That's right. The dog is gnawing on the bone. Now let's look at these two words. Sign and signature. So we see when you have GN at the end of the word, the G is silent too. The pronunciation is sign. And you have the long I sound. Like hi and like. Sign. Sign is the verb. You need to sign your name on a contract. And that is your signature. With signature, the GN is in the middle. And we pronounce the G like a hard G sound. So it's signature. Signature. The I makes a short sound like this is. Sig. Signature. We need your signature on the contract. Signature is a noun. Let's practice. Do you need to sign the contract? That's right. You need to sign the contract. Do they need your signature on the contract? That's right. They need your signature on the contract. And we have these two words, malign and malignant. We see the GN at the end, the G is silent. Malign. Malign means to say something bad about somebody. They maligned him in the press. They said bad things about him in the press. Or I can use passive voice. He was maligned in the press. And we look at the word malignant. The GN is in the middle. We pronounce the G, G, like a hard G sound. Malignant. Malignant is something bad. We use this word to describe tumors. If you have a tumor with cancer, it's a malignant tumor. We see the pronunciation difference. With malign, you have the long I, malign. And with malignant, you have the short I, the I sound. Malignant. Let's practice. Was he maligned in the press? That's right, he was maligned in the press. And if the tumor has cancer, the tumor is malignant. Let's practice. Is the tumor malignant? That's right, the tumor is malignant. But what if it's not? If the tumor is not malignant, we say benign. Another example of GN. The GN is at the end, so the G is silent. Benign. Benign means not harmful. So if a tumor does not have cancer, we say the tumor is benign. Example, I hope the tumor is benign. What about you? Do you hope the tumor is benign? That's right. I hope the tumor is benign. And now we have an exception. This word is align. So it's following the rule. The GN at the end has a silent G. And you have the long I sound. Align. Align means to make straight. To make something straight, you align. It's a verb. You align something. But the noun form is alignment. It's in the middle, but the G is still silent. We keep the long I sound. So these words are special. They're not following the rules. Alignment is the noun. The front end on your car, that's the front two wheels and all the mechanics that are involved, that is called your front end, and it needs to be in alignment. That means everything is straight. If your front end is not in alignment, it's out of alignment. And if it's out of alignment, you need to take your car to the shop and get the front end aligned. They need to align the front end. That is the verb. So there's a problem with the car. The front end is out of alignment. So what do you need to do? You need to go to the mechanic and have the front end aligned. Let's practice. Is the front end out of alignment? That's right. The front end is out of alignment. So what do you need to do? You need to have the front end aligned. That's right. You need to have the front end aligned. Now let's look at some words that follow the rule. Example, magnet. You see GN in the middle, you pronounce the G. G. Magnet. Magnet. This is a magnet. And this word, this is stagnant. The G is in the middle, so we pronounce it with a hard G sound. Stagnant. Stagnant. Stagnant means still, not moving. Example, this is a pond, and the water is not moving, it's not flowing, so I can say the water is stagnant. The water is stagnant. It's not a good thing. Usually water will start smelling bad if it's stagnant. You need water to flow. It's not a good thing. Stagnant water produces a lot of mosquitoes. Mosquitoes love stagnant water. Let's practice. Do mosquitoes love stagnant water? That's right. Mosquitoes love stagnant water. It's not good. And some other words that follow the rules, foreign and campaign. We see the GN at the end and the G is silent. Foreign, from another country. Example, this is a foreign car. It's not made in this country. It's made in another country. People love foreign cars, especially German cars and Italian cars. Let's practice. Do you like foreign cars? Very good. I like foreign cars too. And this word is campaign. The G is silent because the GN is at the end. It's following the rule. Example, the politician. He's running for political office. So we say he's running a good campaign. Let's practice. Is he running a good campaign? He's running a good campaign. I hope. And we see this word, champagne. You have an E at the end, but the E is silent. And the G is silent too. Pronunciation, champagne. Remember, it's from French, so the CH is pronounced with a soft sh sound like shoe and fish. Sh, champagne. Here in America, people like to drink champagne on New Year's Eve. That's the night before New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. What about you? Do you like to drink champagne on New Year's Eve? Very good. And our last one is this word. This word comes from Italian. In Italian, they say Bologna, something like that. I don't speak Italian. But in America, we pronounce it baloney. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but that's how we pronounce it. This is baloney. The first vowel is not stressed, so it has the short sound, It's a schwa. B. Baloney. The second syllable is stressed. It's the long O, like no and go. Balone. And the G is silent. And the last syllable is E. It's the long E like green bean. E. Bologna. Bologna is this kind of lunch meat. I don't like bologna. But some people like bologna. A bologna sandwich, for example. I don't like bologna sandwiches. What about you? Do you like bologna sandwiches? Very good. So remember the rule. If GN is at the beginning, the G is silent. And usually, if the GN is at the end, the G is silent. But there are exceptions. And when the GN is in the middle, you pronounce the hard G sound. It's not silent in the middle. But there are exceptions, so be careful. Today we're talking about these two words, and they're pronounced exactly the same. Baloney. The first word is baloney, and the second word is baloney. The first vowel is the short sound, like cup and up, below. The second vowel is a long O, like no and go. Together, below. Baloney. The last vowel is a long E, like green beans. E, together, baloney. Baloney. And there are two ways we use these words, and the spelling is different depending on what you want to say. For example, bologna. This is bologna. It's a kind of meat that you put on a sandwich. It comes sliced. You can buy it in a package. This is Oscar Mayer bologna. It's also called lunch meat. It's a kind of lunch meat. So if I put bologna on my sandwich, it's called a bologna sandwich. Let's hear some examples.
You got bologna, bread, mayonnaise.
Your favorite, bologna and cheese.
That a bologna sandwich is a satisfactory meal.
We have bologna and cheese, apples, and graham crackers.
We're gonna make bologna sandwiches, I think.
We will now be serving bologna sandwiches.
Oh boy, bologna.
Man, it smells like burnt bologna and regrets down here.
You must have left them at the deli with the rest of the bologna and cheese.
Bologna sandwiches, man.
Bologna and cheese.
Example, if I make a sandwich, I prefer ham or turkey. I don't really like bologna. What about you? Do you like bologna? Very good. Do you make bologna sandwiches? Very good. And we have this bologna. It's spelled differently, but it has the same pronunciation. We use this spelling when you talk about something that is nonsense, something that is not true. If I don't believe your story, I can say, that's a bunch of baloney. You can also say, that's a bunch of BS. Now, BS stands for a bad word, bull-sh. But I don't want to use the bad word, so I can say, that's a bunch of BS. It's kind of strong, though. So it's better to say, baloney. It's the same idea. I think it's not true. I think it's nonsense. That's a bunch of baloney. And remember, a bunch of. A bunch of comes from a bunch of bananas or a bunch of grapes, but we use it to mean a lot of. It just means a lot of. So if I say, that's a bunch of baloney, that means that's a lot of nonsense. That's a lot of BS. It's not true. Let's hear some examples.
Bunch of baloney, I think.
You know, what we really need instead of this baloney is an assertiveness training class for Southern women.
Jesus, you know how I feel about this baloney?
But our guest of honor here today says that's just baloney.
You don't call it baloney and just tell each other how we really feel.
I agree, it's a bunch of baloney.
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to this baloney. Come on, that's baloney.
Now, what's all this baloney about you sleeping on the couch?
Example, the car salesman said Ford is the best car ever. He said it's the best car in the world. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. I think that's a bunch of baloney. Let's practice. What do you think? Do you believe the salesman? Do you believe Ford is the best car in the world? That's right. I don't believe it either. That's a bunch of baloney. So remember the pronunciation of these two words. Baloney and baloney, they're pronounced exactly the same. This is American English. I know in Italian it's Bologna, but this is not Italy, this is America, we say baloney. The first word is baloney and the second word is baloney, but they're used differently. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. And we'll see you next time.